Hello and welcome to Outside In. My name is Steven. I know it's been a while. A lot of things been going on. Getting ready to install a dash cam. I wanted to use a fuse tap, so I started doing some research. I saw another video yesterday that a guy that was saying that nobody on YouTube knows how to install these, and he was going to show everybody how to do it. He even said the manufacturers were wrong with their diagrams. But I want to start with saying this. This is a diagram. Now you can pause frame if you want to, so you can save this, but you can find these diagrams on the internet. The way these fuses work is this number 1 here represents the power coming in from your battery. And that power is going to go up this rail right here. And then it's going to branch off to 2 loads. The number 2 load here, the bottom one, like here, is for the electrical device that fuse is protecting. And this fuse up here on the top, it's for the load that you want now to add to your system. And the way it works is your 12 volt comes in up here and it goes through this fuse for your in-car device that this is protecting. And then it goes up here and goes across this fuse for this load that you're going to connect, like your dash cam or whatever you're going to do with this. Also, it's recommended that if you want to fuse tap a 10 amp fuse, that you also use a 10 amp fuse in the top or lower. I saw another video yesterday where a guy did a really good job explaining how to do this until the very end. He then said, oh yeah, by the way, orientation on this doesn't matter, but I'm here to tell you, please believe me, it does matter. I have a number of these different brands over the years, and every single one so far has been exactly the same, just like this diagram here. The 12 volt comes up to the left side, and then the load goes out to the right on all of them. You can make sure, just double check. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. Put your one probe on the left leg, and then probe the first leg, and then the second above it. They should both have continuity. Now, if you test this one, the bottom one is going to give continuity, but the top one will not have continuity. That's the way you can tell what this configuration of this one is. The left side is your main power in. Both of these will have continuity, both of these. This one, just the bottom one will, but the top one will not. Now what I want to show is once you've decided which fuse in your panel that you want to tap, be it a constant power or a switched power, what you want to do is pull that out of your fuse panel. I have a probe here with a light, but you can also use a multimeter. And if you're looking for a constant fuse, for constant power, not to be switched, then just start probing around in your fuses. And when you find one that's lighting up that with the car off, then you know that fuse is constant. But then you need to check your manual, because you don't want to be tapping into a computer fuse, any computer fuses, ECM or the TCM, or any other computer system that might be in your car. I even heard ABS, you don't want to tap into that one either. You'd want to use like an ignition, or some people are saying that seat heaters are a good source. These newer vehicles are real weird with how sensitive they are. Back in my day, we could very easily find any fuse we wanted to plug into and tap into, and didn't have to worry about it, hearting anything. But now, as sensitive as vehicles are these days, oh my goodness, you got to be so careful what you tap into. So if you're uncertain, contact a local mechanic that knows that vehicle. Contact the dealership and ask them what is a safe fuse to tap into. Tell them what you're hooking up a dash cam or whatever. So now that you've found that fuse that's hot all the time, now you want to take the fuse out, like I just did, and you want to probe each side of that leg. Some fuse boxes, the main power coming in is on the right side. And then like this one, the main power is coming in, if you can see that, on the left side. So that is our main power source coming in. So we know now, because this is the main power coming in, that we want this orientation. If your main power was coming in on this side, you would want to turn it around and put it in this orientation. After you've found the fuse that you want to use to tap into, verify which side of the fuse has the voltage, because the other side will not, obviously, because there's no fuse in there. Once you figure that out, then what you're going to do is you are going to take the fuse that you removed from that fuse box, and you're going to place it in the bottom slot of your fuse tap, in the bottom. Just like, yeah, it's like it's saying here. And then in the top, for your new load, you want to put your fuse for the top load that you're going to run, your dash cam or whatever you're using. All right, so now once we have our fuses back in this fuse tap, now we're going to push it down in the correct orientation, and we have our car electrical device is now working because we have our original fuse in there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the car off. Remember, this was 400 milliamp. And then I'm going to plug in, connect my load, my new load. So let's turn the ignition back on. So now I'm going to do what the guy today said about polarity doesn't matter. And we're going to put it in backwards. And then, I haven't tried this yet, but I'm pretty certain what's going to happen, because if you have this hooked up backwards, what's going to happen is you saw 4.6 amps. 4.6 amps is going to be drawn through this fuse and also through this fuse going down to the source. And if this is a 1 amp fuse, or if this is a 10 amp fuse and this is a 16 amp fuse, and this is pulling 14 amps, or you get a short on your new load, you're going to blow your fuse down here. Yeah. Okay, so let's turn the vehicle on with this in the wrong orientation and see if this does what I think it will. This light might come on and go right off. So let's try it and see. Well, it didn't do anything. All right, wait a minute. Let me test this. Did it blow? Yep. It blew the fuse. It blew this fuse. It blew the fuse. It blew it. So, yeah, see, that's what happens if you hook it up backwards. That's why I wanted to show you what could happen if you put it in the wrong orientation. So let me get another 10 amp fuse in here and then put it the right way around and start my vehicle back up. And there you go. So many people say it correctly and how to properly use a fuse tap, but they don't say why it's important. That's why I wanted to tell you why it's important you get it the right way. So please make sure you get this in the correct way, and it should work great for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will do my best to answer your questions. I hope someone has got some use out of this, and I hope so much that this has saved someone from blowing their fuses. Unplug that second load. Get, okay, a little less light. Now here it says 5 to 20 and then 5 to 20. But it doesn't say that you can't use a 20 here and a 10 here or a 15. If you would be more comfortable, then please do what a lot of people suggest and just use a 15 amp here, if that's what the original fuse you're tapping into is, and also a 15 up here or smaller. But just make sure 100% though that you do not plug this into your fuse box in the wrong orientation. So please be careful when doing this. If you're uncomfortable, take it to your mechanic, have them do it for you. But it's pretty simple, it's pretty easy to do, and hopefully this video has helped. So take care of yourself, take care of each other. Find someone that needs a reason to go on, give them that reason. Find someone that needs a hug, and make it happen. God bless us everyone, and I will see you in the next one.